Well guys, I'm very excited about this find. I found a book about fishing, a very rare and priceless book that I wrote when I was only 9 years old, back in 1986. 1986, can you believe it? So I wrote this book at Hadfield Elementary School, and we're gonna do a little story time right now and tell you about this book. So it's called Fishing is My Life by Justin Morris, which is me. Published by Hadfield School in 1986. Something cool about this book is that this book, I was like so excited about fishing back when I was 9 years old, probably even more excited than I am right now about fishing. And I encouraged like the whole school to have like a fishing outing. And after I wrote this little book here, we got like the whole school or maybe one grade or something like that out to the Fox River in Waukesha. And we did like a little fishing outing. The Fox River in Waukesha, you know, I mean, there can be some sketchy people down there. And I remember showing up and like I was like the first one to get there. I'm pretty sure my dad was with me, and there was like some people like high schoolers or something like that, like making out down by the river and stuff and like getting it on. That was awkward, probably really awkward for them with a bunch of grade schoolers showing up. There was also like a lot of like winos around, like stuff like that, so it was a pretty sketchy area. And I don't think anyone caught a fish. No, I think one kid caught a bullhead, and I think that kid was allergic to fish, and so like he caught it and like freaked out and ran away from it. I had a pike on right at the beginning of that fishing trip, but I didn't catch it. And but anyways, it was very cool that the school took us fishing. That was a good time, man. So let's read this book. Let's see if we can learn something from 9-year-old Justin Morris. To my Uncle Johnny, who taught me everything I know about fishing. This is going to be hard to see because it's a pretty dark picture. My Uncle Johnny kind of fueled the passion for fishing for me. He helped me catch my first bluegill, and he helped me catch my first salmon and my first pike. And I'm gonna get him on video this year in one of our videos, probably doing some smallie fishing or something like that. Back then it was like bobber fishing and stuff, and I didn't really fish like hard like I do now, like more like tournament or aggressive style. But you know, it's cool, man. I'm gonna get my Uncle Johnny out fishing. It's gonna be a rad video. Fishing is my life. I think I like fishing because I like the feel of the fish on the line. Every summer I lose lots of baits. It still freaking happens to me. In the winter I go ice fishing. I don't know why I like ice fishing because I freeze, but for some reason ice fishing is my favorite thing to do. I like regular fishing too. Yeah, I don't know why I like ice fishing. I don't know. It's cold and miserable, and then you've got that chance of like falling in the lake and dying and stuff like that, and it's just, I don't know why I like it. I guess it just gives me something to do while I'm waiting for the regular fishing season to open. No offense to you hardcore ice fishermen out there. Things you need for fishing. Pay close attention. To go fishing, you need a pole, a net, bait, and pliers. If you're fishing for big fish, you should bring a net and be sure to have plenty of tackle even if you have live bait. Good advice. Solid. That's solid advice right there. For northerns, I use spoons and spinners. I still do that. A spoon is like the spoon that you eat off, but it doesn't have a handle. I guess that's true. It's like a spoon shape, but then there's a hook on it, so that's kind of true. For muskie and walleye, I use a plug. A plug is a topwater bait. Sometimes I catch bluegills and use them for bait. You know, I don't think I ever caught a bluegill and used it for bait, and I don't think a walleye would hit a topwater bait. I did catch a walleye on a buzzbait once, which was pretty rad, but it was like really shallow water, so I think that's why I hit it. It was like a reaction strike. I don't know if that's real good advice there. What to do if even your jitterbug doesn't work. Chapter 3. That's a freaking pretty good name for a chapter. What to do if even your jitterbug doesn't work. If your baits don't work, move to another place in the lake, like in the lily pads. Don't stay in one place, move. That's solid advice. Like, don't wait for the fish to come to you, but you go to the fish. I mean, if you have a boat, you gotta be moving around, you gotta be traveling, even ice fishing. We're gonna punch 50 holes trying to find the fish, right? If you're out on a boat, use a trolling motor. That's what I just said. Fish don't stay in one place. Yeah, see? So don't make the fish come to you, you go to them. A lot of times the fish do stay in one place, but you got to go and find them, right? You got to go find where they're sitting and what cover they're sitting in. Chapter 4, when to go fishing. Most people say that a nice sunny day is when to go fishing, but they're wrong. A cloudy day is when to go fishing. Also early in the morning or at night because fish like the dark. A sunny day, you might catch fish, but not as many. I don't know if I agree with this chapter. I would think like any day is a good day to go fishing, and I think that it's important not to be a like real like nice weather fishermen, like, oh, I'm only gonna go fishing when the weather's nice. I encourage and challenge you guys to go out fishing when the weather's horrible and make a super sweet adventure out of it. Chapter 5, where to go fishing. I found that a weed bed is the best place to go fishing because weeds are cool. If it's cold, I don't know why they go in the weeds, but fish like it. I do think that emerging weeds, if I could go back in time as a 9-year-old and say emerging weeds is a great place to find fish. How to catch largemouth bass and where to find them. Bass are mostly found in structures like rocks, logs, and sticks in the water. For largemouth bass, plugs such as the jitterbug or tiny torpedo. I found out that beetle spins work great for bass as well. I remember this chapter, I think it's this chapter, where I wrote a chapter about like eddies, where like there's like a current break, and like the word eddy was like not in the dictionary for that purpose, for that meaning, and like my teacher like forbid it to be in the book. She's like, you cannot put that in the book. And I'm like, well, it just means it's like a current break. They wouldn't let me put it. I don't think so. It might be coming up in a different chapter, but I don't know. We're almost done. And listen, you guys, finish the whole freaking book, all right? Because if you click on my video and you watch like 5 seconds of it and you're like, oh, this is lame, Justin's just reading a book that he wrote when he was like 6 years old or 9 years old or whatever, then you're gonna screw up my YouTube algorithms, and I've got some good momentum going on right now, so don't mess up my Google algorithms, all right? Let's keep the momentum going, so finish the book, all right? Have some respect for 9-year-old Justin. Where to find trout? Trout are mostly found in running water, like flowing streams and brooks. That's true, right? They like the running water because they are very fast swimmers. That allows them to take on the heavy rapids of a flowing stream. Yeah, I don't really know much about trout. I don't really know why they like the running water. How to fish the Fox River. Boom, this is where I grew up fishing. If you fish the Fox River, make sure to use something shiny. That's true. Because the Fox River is dirty and you need something shiny for the fish to see your bait. I caught a lot of my first fish in my whole life on really big, like big spinner baits and big spoons and big jerk baits, real bright ones down there. Someday I'm gonna go back, fish where I grew up. It's not too far from me. Baits that you use on the Fox River. The thing you catch most in the Fox River is carp. I don't know about that. You can catch pike, you can catch bass. Carp mostly are caught on bread, but I think little stinker catfish bait works best. I just made that up. I never caught a carp on bread or a little stinker catfish bait when I was 9 years old. But carp isn't all you find in the Fox. There's also northerns with teeth like iron. They will eat anything that comes in front of you. It mostly bites on spoons and spinners. Smallmouth bass. I think I was definitely not qualified to write a chapter on smallmouth bass because I never caught one up until like maybe like 5 years ago or something. Smallmouth bass are found in boat piers and rocks and reeds. Most smallmouth bass are caught on plastic worms. Ooh, that's pretty good advice for a 9-year-old kid that never caught a smallmouth bass before. I must have did my research. But now, here comes the ultimate chapter on northern pike fishing. This is the best one ever. This makes this book an instant classic. Northerns are more dangerous than you think. A northern pike is very dangerous. They are liable to bite your hand off. They are like a shark, but sharks are more tame. One swish of a northern's tail can break 20-pound test line. When you go fishing for northerns, make sure you have at least 30-pound test line. Always have your hook sharpened. Most northerns are caught on spoons and spinners, such as number 3 and number 4. Oh my God, that chapter's freaking best right there. Last chapter, what you need for ice fishing. What you need for ice fishing. The first thing you'll need for ice fishing is an auger. First time I went ice fishing, I went with a shovel. Didn't work. The second thing is a minnow bucket to hold your minnows. Use a strainer to get the leftover pieces of ice out. Why you throw fish back after catching them? Well, this is the last chapter, catch and release. You throw them back because they have babies, and that makes the lake have more fish, and the fish will get even bigger. Then someone else will catch the fish. Another reason is maybe the fish are just too small. Catch and release. I believed it back then, and I believe it now. Here's a picture of me, right there. If you can see it. From 1986. 1986. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my priceless book. Very rare find. This is gonna stay in the family forever. Someday Leo is gonna hand this down to his kids, right? So hey, I wanna talk about the future of my fishing channel, let you know what's coming up. We're gonna go ice fishing this weekend for our very last ice fishing outing. It's the last day on the ice. The game fishing season is closing in Wisconsin. So we're gonna get out there Sunday and fish it. I think we're gonna have a great day as long as the ice is still safe. I heard somebody sent me something, so I'm gonna do an unboxing, which I've never done before, but I heard someone sent me something pretty rad. So we're gonna check that out in the next couple days. I've been going to the mailbox every day waiting for this. I know how you guys feel when you're waiting for my lures now. And also, hey, speaking of unboxing, I want to give a shout out to Carson Chang. Carson is, I think you're 13 years old, Carson, right? Carson has a super awesome YouTube channel, catches some really rad looking fish. I've seen like trout, fly fish, and stuff like that. And I highly recommend checking out her channel. I'm going to put a link to it here, but Carson did the very first unboxing of my lures for me. So she was the first person ever to do an unboxing or even give me a shout out in their channel. So I appreciate that, Carson. I love you. I love your channel. So I hope that you guys continue watching our videos. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are all amazing. You're super awesome. Thank you so much. And next video is going to be me crushing some giant fish for the last ice fishing day. All right. Catch you guys next time on Fighting the Fish.